Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we are watching Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 1, Episode 18. I like this episode. I liked last episode.
I feel like that's how you start every episode, is I liked this episode. I like every episode.
Yeah. But last episode, a lot happened. I'm going to let you go over it in a second. I just want to say real quick, the animation and the fights were just as strong as the emotional aspect of last episode, in my opinion. Like, everything was, going at the same, great animation, movie quality animation, great music, great choreographs of the fights, and then, the dialogue between sisters especially was amazing. Mm-hmm. So what happened?
So we started off the episode with a fight between Momo and Nobara. And so it was honestly really interesting to me because the whole topic of conversation during their fight was kind of about what's expected of females in society, but also female jujutsu sorcerers specifically, and how they have it a lot tougher, obviously, than men to gain respect from the community. And Momo's perspective was that women have to be not only very, very cute or pretty, well-kept, fashionable, all of those things, but they also not only have to be strong, but they have to be perfection in fights.
Yeah.
So they have to be perfection in all areas or they won't get the respect they deserve for their talent. And then Nobara had...
Keep that shit to yourself.
Basically, yeah, exactly. She was like, well, I love myself when I look pretty, and I love myself when I do really cool, badass things. And Momo seemed pretty taken aback by Nobara saying that, but she was also taken aback because the whole time Nobara had been putting little nails in the trees and intentionally missing, and then also grabbed a piece of Momo's broom, and then she had a squeaky hammer, and it was so awesome. And I honestly was hoping to see what would happen with that, but unfortunately Mai intervened. She was off in a tree somewhere with her gun and shot Nobara. Nobara's okay.
Rubber bullet.
Rubber bullet, but that still really hurt. And then we skipped right from Momo and Nobara with that transition into Mai with the gun into Maki and Mai.
It's a good transition.
Yes. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like you were cutting into a different scene on the in this event.
Yeah.
Because it made sense with Mai interacting with the situation between Momo and Nobara, and then Maki finishing up her fight with Miwa, and then going on to see Mai. We learned some really interesting things, with the episode with Panda and Mekamaru. Before this, we saw Panda's kind of rankings of everyone, and I was really shocked by how low on the totem pole Maki was. Mm-hmm. I was like, that makes literally no sense to me. And then we learned in this past episode that it is not reflective of her actual talent or her actual strength. It is purely bureaucratic. It is purely that her family that she left has been intentionally basically paying off the fact that she is not being ranked up. And that was really sucky to hear, but also even more props to Maki to still be trying her hardest just to be a good jujutsu sorcerer and not letting it truly mess with her emotionally. It's it almost adds fuel to her flames of just being good at her job, And I thought that was really awesome. There was a lady with crows, reminded me of Demon Slayer.
A little bit.
And so the lady with crows loves money. So obviously this person is probably being paid off to not show what Itadori and Todo are up to right now. I thought that was also really interesting. That Gojo was like, why can't we see Itadori? And she was like, oh, crows are animals after all. I don't know. Crows,
Panda also took Mekamaru's phone, I think, right? In episode 16?
I know they exchanged numbers, right?
No, I think that we wanted them to. Like, I think that's what you said you hoped was happening
that's
after
not what was
Panda.
happening?
I don't think so.
Oh.
It could have been. Who knows? But
And then, okay, so the family story of Maki and Mai is really what the meat and the heart
so
of last
good.
episode was. I didn't mean to glaze over it. It's more that that's the most important thing. So we're going to end with that before going into this episode.
Yeah.
So we basically we knew that Mai had this hatred towards Maki. And I wondered if it was because of just the fact that Mai had more pressure on her because she was the person, now in not in charge of the clan, but the future of the clan. And I learned that it was a lot more innocent than that, or a lot more like to her heart and less like situation. It was more just the fact that Maki was her person. Maki was everything to her. Obviously so, they were sisters, but Maki was the sister that protected Mai. Like, Mai was scared of curses. Mai didn't want this life. Mai didn't want to be a sorcerer. Maki was there protecting Mai, telling her to close her eyes, giving her the only affection that Mai probably ever experienced in that family. Maki was that affection. And Maki left. Maki left her.
After saying that she'd never leave.
After saying she would never leave. And that is the reason that Mai hates her. It's because she, in Mai's mind, and kind of did, in fact, abandon her.
But it was within, like, obviously for Maki as a person and individual, we talked in the discussion about, like, how she needed to do that. And, like, for her. Yeah. So it's good writing, in my opinion. You have
to do things that are selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, when you're really burnt out and someone asks you to hang out or they need you, sometimes you need to, like, realize that you need to focus on yourself sometimes. Like, and other people around you, except if it's an emergency, they need to be able to turn to themselves too. Mm-hmm. They need to be able to look within themselves and find strength and safety and affection within themselves. And so sometimes you do need to be a little selfish. And Maki was selfish with that decision, but that is not a bad thing. Mm-mm. I don't think selfish necessarily should be an inherently bad word, because it just means that you're thinking about yourself with something.
Doing something for yourself. And part of me thinks, like, even Mai realizes that. Think about how she worded that awesome line of, like, why didn't you stay at the bottom with me? Like, she knew very well, like, what that was. It was the bottom. It was, like, the worst, but
at least they were together.
Yeah.
So, like, Mai, I feel like there's hope for them sisterly wise, because all Mai really wants is to be with Maki, no matter where that is. I don't think it even matters that it's within the safety of their clan, because I don't think she ever felt safe within the clan anyway, or loved or protected or anything there.
Yeah.
She just wanted Maki. Mm-hmm. And I think there's potential for resolution there. I think that both of them would be happy to have it, even though Mai ended the episode still saying, I hate you. That's because Maki wasn't willing to give up.
Yeah.
She, like, Mai proposed that, like, why didn't you stay at the bottom with me? She was probably putting one last thing out there of, how about you just quit with me? I don't even want to do this, you know? And that's why Maki didn't give her any, like, emotional leeway, really, because Maki was like, no, this is still my goal. This is still something I want. I'm not going to quit this.
We wanted some inner dialogue from Maki,
I would like some inner dialogue. But
not
I think
like it needed it for that episode. Of course, that's not what I'm trying to get across. More so, like, I'm just curious what Maki was thinking in that scenario. You know.
So I definitely do think there's a chance for sisterly resolution there, because their goals can match. They can match up. They can be on the same page. It's not like they want polar opposite things. Like, Maki can still have a sisterly relationship with Mai, but also still be a Jujutsu sorcerer.
Yeah.
Mai doesn't have to be involved with that world. It's just that she was kind of...
There can be a balance there somehow.
Yeah, there can be. And I'm wondering if this is a sign that Mai is going to quit, or if she's going to keep this up because she's, like, still like, oh, I hate Maki or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. what her next move is. I mean, she has friends amongst her peers, so she might not want to leave because maybe it's better to be there than going home.
Maybe. Very true.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering where we're going to pick up for this episode. I feel like it's probably going to be Fushiguro. We've kind of seen everyone else's pairings now and their fights. And
Except
Kamo...
Togai, right? Togai?
Is that his
The curse
other name?
speech user?
Oh, we haven't seen Togai either, but Togai's off, taking
Doing his
care
own
of the
thing.
actual mission of what they were supposed to be doing. Panda's doing it now too, which is good. But fight-wise, we have to see, wouldn't that be totally weird to not see what happens with Fushiguro and this other, Kyoto sister school member, Kamo, that we have barely even really met?
I get you. It would be kind of weird, I guess, but I don't know.
That's what I feel like is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I thought the blue I thought it was Itadori because of the color. Whew. Arrows. Okay.
Damn. They're tracking. They're heat seeking.
So this is us seeing Fushiguro with some close range weapons now.
Yeah.
It's Task. Oh, did he send one to look for curses?
Blood manipulation.
The best part of Fushiguro is his eyelashes. Mm-hmm. Blood manipulation, love of bloodlines. Okay, I was about to say, the Zenin was Maki and Mai as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Flowing red scale.
You're doping?
Mm-hmm. You know when athletes dope?
Oh.
So there are two interpretations as far as I understand. I've seen a lot of people take that as he's injected himself with something before this fight. I don't think that's the case. I could be wrong, but the fact that he can freely manipulate any part of his blood makes me think that he's just manipulating certain blood cells and parts of his blood to enhance his overall oxygen intake or power output. You're able to manipulate how much oxygen you need in a fight, or how just any any
but
detail.
If you've watched Cells at Work, you would know that the blood cells can hold alcohol or drugs or any of that for a certain period of time afterwards. So it could be that.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the elephant still. So is Kamo from the main family, or Maki and Mai the main family of the Zenin clan?
It's a good question.
It is a good question. Because he did say if only Maki and Mai had it, which makes me wonder if Maki and Mai are the main clan and Kamo's trying to compensate to be able to be the head of the clan even though he's not from the main family.
She was definitely saying, he was definitely saying if Maki or Mai had Fushiguro's technique,
Oh. Miwa is me. I relate so much. Oh, cell phone. Mekamaru, Panda. What? Was that Toge? With Mekamaru's phone? So Panda gave it to Toge?
Good boy.
The wolf did!
Aww.
Good boy.
What they do with the audio for his voice.
It's so cool. Curse. It's one of the higher level ones, maybe? I dislike this old man so much.
Messed up, dude.
It's trained?
Semi first grade.
I dislike this guy so much. So that couldn't be what Toge found, because it was supposed to keep quiet. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? That's a new person. Or curse.
Gross.
I was wondering if they were going to infiltrate somehow, since like there's already a bunch of curses in this area. It'd be kind of silly if they didn't. Didn't I bring up the My Hero thing?
Shit.
Oh, yep. So Mai and Maki are the main family then, right?
Oh my god.
Last one broken. Better reach into space and get a new weapon.
Good fucking luck, bro.
So it's more just a principle thing and less like a personal feeling. Look at his face!
Tamed it.
Elephant! Yes! Oh, I was waiting for this.
I love this.
Elephants are one of my favorite animals. This makes me so happy.
I love how the water's drawn so much.
Like real freaking water? It's not like an illusion to show a technique? That one's next. No.
Oh my god.
Water and then electricity? Shit.
Oh my god. It's cool power.
外部の人間侵入者ってことですか？天元様の結界が機能してないってこと？
サトルは学願寺学長と学生の保護。メイはここでエリア内の学生の位置を特定。
ほらおじいちゃん、散歩の時間ですよ。昼ご飯はさっき食べたでしょ。
So did he say run away to them so that they would immediately start running and not hesitate?
Correct.
Okay. Because they could have hesitated out of shock or something.
Yeah.
So this is a human, I think.
闇より出て闇より黒く、その汚れをみそぎ払え。
What is that?
楽しみだな、ハンガーラック。
No, you're not gonna make Gojo into a coat rack. A veil?
Yeah.
帳？なんで今？
五条、帳が降りる前にあんただけ先行け。
いや無理。
はあ？
実質あの帳はもう完成してる。効果を優先してあるみたいだ。うまいな。この違和感。
ちょっとなんであんたが弾かれて私が入れんのよ。
なるほど。歌姫、おじいちゃん、先に行って。この帳、五条悟の侵入を拒む代わりに、その他すべてのものが出入り可能な。
Just Gojo. It's only for Gojo.
Like, I hate Gramps, but I hope he does something good, you know?
ってこい呪いの気配。
おいおいおいおい、五条悟いねえじゃん。あの生臭ボス騙しやがったな。
歌姫、先に行け。学生の保護を優先。
待て待て、せめて女をやらせろ。ジジイのスカスカの骨とシワシワのなんも作れねえよ。
スカスカかどうかは。
Is he the one playing the guitar at the end of the intro? That was unexpected.
こいつら未登録の特級呪霊組んでるっぽいんだよね。
Amazing picture.
五条先生を襲った特級呪霊だと思います。風刺も報告。
Matches it completely.
Work
Perfect.
of art.
名前を。そうですね。五条先生に連絡しましょう。
ちょっと待て。君は彼が何を言っているのかわかるのか？
This is Hanami, right? This curse?
Yeah.
赤血掃術。狩り払い。
Slicing exorcism.
Did
I'm always wondering why
nothing.
Hanami has, like, an arm wrapped up. Nothing? Again, nothing?
さすがに硬いな。
あの刀。
It basically just dug more into the ground.
持っていたんだ。
やめなさい、愚かな子らよ。
なんだこれ。音が何言ってんのかわかんねえのに意味は理解できる。
この星を守りたいだけだ。森も海も空ももう我慢ならぬと泣いています。これ以上人間との共存は不可能です。源がいることは彼らも知っています。しかしその慈愛がどれだけの足しになろうか。
沼気を下がらせろ。
Why get Toge out?
のいない時間。死して賢者となりなさい。
Die and become sages.
It's interesting.
Like,
Like
die with regret and like make a curse or something?
I don't know. I think like it's an interesting like Hanami, like she's an embodiment of the earth kind of, right? And she doesn't want does she have a point?
Didn't Gojo say that like the strongest curses were the ones that came from the more natural elements?
But doesn't she like have a point?
Yeah.
A little bit like
she believes that the world like the planet will be safer if humans aren't populating it, and
Yeah.
and acknowledges that there are humans that love the earth and take care of the earth, but it's what they do is not enough to save it.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't want all humans to die, but it's an
Yeah.
interesting perspective.
But also, like, why to get Inomaki out of there?
Good question.
Because isn't Inomaki higher ranked than both Fushiguro? Is it more just don't let him die here because he's higher ranked, or
I'm not sure. Maybe it deals with his ability to fight them. Like we haven't.
Well, he can't do close range, right?
Maybe we haven't seen him do close range at the moment.
It
right?
could be like get him out of here and further away so he can use his ability but not be at like close range.
Yeah,
to be
maybe.
Attacked.
おっとジョーゴくん
Jogo!
また花見の子供
What?
でしょ
This makes so much sense. Hanami. We get Toto has his own slice of life shoujo anime, and so does Hanami.
これは焼き畑養分が足りなかったと
And Hanami saved Jogo's head with the fight against Gojo. Throb! Stop! This is the show we all wanted.
Yep. This is the show we all.
I thought I wanted Toto and Itadori best friends forever, but
Maybe it's the
Hanami
same
and
universe.
Jogo, it could be the same universe.
Maybe it's canonically connected. Canonical.
Canon.
Yeah.
Let's just go
It's
with that.
canon. It's canonically a thing.
Canonically.
Anyway, yeah, a decent amount happened that episode. No.
Yeah. What? Okay, so we met a new like evil dude that we don't know. I love when stories have like the evil people, like the bad people, but then there are like bad people within the good people too, and then they're kind of like maybe good people within the bad people. Like there's always like when you get like villains, there's always villains that the only reason they're villains is because people did something traumatizing to them, didn't give them any love, protection, they were hurt in some way that they basically turned evil or bad by like moral and or societal standards. But there's also always kind of, people that are supposedly good or heroes. Like I think about Gramps. Obviously, I'm probably only think Gramps is a villain because he's trying to kill Itadori. And I guess in a way,
It's not black and white.
The only reason I want Itadori to survive is because Itadori's the main character and I like Itadori. But if I was in this universe and I was a Jujutsu sorcerer and I knew of Sukuna, I don't know if I would have, especially if I hadn't met Itadori, really,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have the same opinion. I'd be scared. I would be like, that is too big of like a thing to have to deal with. Like, we're already struggling.
Yeah.
As sorcerers to like beat all these curses. We are losing numbers.
It's an interesting perspective because like what you said, we're already struggling. Why take the risk of like potentially Sukuna coming out and
Yeah. So I don't know if they make you dislike him also with design, character art. He just looks kind of like mean.
I don't know, man. You saw him with a guitar now.
Okay, I really his next episode where he fights with it and we get to see all that.
I don't know.
Because that blew me away. Like, I was shocked.
That's so funny.
I remember seeing the guitar in the intro and I was like, oh, Itadori starts a band. Like, no, Gramps starts the band.
Hell yeah.
Gojo's being... Okay, so, question. We're just going to start with hammer axe guy. Well, he has an axe, but he uses it to hammer things in, which is kind of dumb. Why not
He
just
wants
have
to make
a hammer?
a coat rack.
Yeah, he wants to make a coat rack, and he was surprised that Gojo didn't enter the veil.
Mm-hmm.
But he made the veil.
He helped make the veil. He helped put the veil into effect, I believe.
So do you think he was lied to?
Yes. I do.
Oh, so he's being used as like a pawn too within the curses. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why are you expecting Gojo to walk in here when you made it so Gojo couldn't walk in here?
Well, he said, like, why isn't Gojo here? The monk lied to me or something like that, right?
Oh, the monk is, shoot. I have the monk's name somewhere else in some other book.
I don't know who you're talking about, so I don't want to say the
You do
wrong
know. Mahito's best friend.
name. Mahito's best friend.
Yes, they like lounged together on the beach, remember? He's the one that talked to Jogo in the restaurant when Jogo burned everyone and was like, oh, like, no, we can't let the Jujutsu sorcerers see me. And I'm like, sus. You're sketchy.
Ghetto.
Yeah, Geto.
Yeah.
Him. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, he is the monk. He's
Okay.
dressed like a monk, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda.
So we have Utahime, which I don't know Utahime's techniques or anything. I'm kind of wondering who else has been brought to this environment from the villains. Because I feel like the students are gonna have to fight also, but it could just be Axe Guy and Hanami.
I mean,
Mahito was there, but on the outside.
Hanami is like did nothing, no damage was received from her by multiple attacks from 3 of the students who are relatively strong.
Well, like 2 of these are from families that are like huge in this world, in this society, that are very strong. I mean, Fushiguro is like the only reason Sukuna's like doing anything for Itadori, because he's like, I want to stay around and see what this kid's up to or whatever.
That's a big thing that happened this episode. They're like talking about the lineage of the clans and like, you know.
So Kamo is from the Kamo clan, but it's within the Zenin clan.
I think it's Zenin. It could be
Zenin.
But I believe so. I don't want to like say.
And then Fushiguro also was within that family as well, but did not. But Kamo's the only one that has the actual Zenin like technique or art of blood, right?
Yeah.
And so Maki and Mai, neither of them have it. Fushiguro doesn't have it.
But I believe that there was like it was if Maki and Mai had Fushiguro's power, then like it would be a different story. I think that that's what he said. Right?
I don't know.
I don't want to get anything wrong.
Just before he rushed down. He was like about to. Okay. Hereditary techniques. So maybe the Shikigami is hereditary.
That's what, yeah. But yeah, the 10 Shadows technique. So he was saying like Mai and Maki didn't have the hereditary techniques.
Oh, okay. So Fushiguro does have the hereditary technique, but does that mean there's multiple hereditary techniques within the clan?
There's 3 major clans, no?
Yeah, but he's within the Zenin.
Yeah.
So that means there's like, maybe each of the clans within Zenin have their own hereditary technique.
Yeah.
So like the Kamo family has this blood manipulation. Fushiguro's family has
one of the Zenin clans.
Shadows.
Yeah.
And then maybe Maki and Mai's. Maybe Maki and Mai are a part of whatever one Fushiguro was in, or they're part of a different one.
I mean, he definitely just classified Maki, Mai, and Fushiguro
together,
all together in the way that he was talking.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
So, I can't hate Kamo necessarily for like wanting to kill Itadori, because he's trying to act within what he thinks he needs to do to be the leader of the clan.
But if he says clan one more time, I'm gonna fucking scream, dude.
Both of them are acting for their mothers, in a way. Or is that not Fushiguro's mother? Was that like a sister?
I don't know if you know who that is.
We don't know, but I think it's his mother.
Okay.
I don't think he ever explicitly said. I think I asked you when they first showed her, and you wouldn't tell me, but I'm operating under the assumption that that is his mother.
Yeah.
It was like his, what did he say? Not his like teacher or the person who taught him anything, but when he first brought that image of that lady up, he was like, the world, this society wronged her or something. And that is why he has this reason of like judging people by his own conscience, is because of this lady who I think must be his mom, because it would fit with the narrative that the birthing of the kids in this clan and whoever the mom is and whatever their status is very important. Especially with like Kamo's example.
Obviously, it wasn't too important. No, I mean, it was just like, all right, you were born. Your mother is a slutty. What did she say?
Concubine.
A slutty concubine. She's gone, but we're still taking you.
Yeah.
So like obvious, like it's important to a degree.
Well,
but,
Kamo
like,
said that they had a lot in common, and I'm wondering if like their status of their parents, or like the fact that their parents weren't given the same affection or respect from the clan might be one of those like common grounds. But I'm just like obviously speculating with all of this.
Yeah.
Because that lady doesn't even look like Fushiguro, but like whatever, you can have look different.
Yeah.
Like maybe it is like an example, like obviously it seemingly Kamo's dad was the actual member of the clan and the mother was brought in, the concubine.
Yeah.
So the mother wasn't directly related to, or maybe she was further down the line, like further away, removed from the main families. And maybe Fushiguro's mom was, or not mom, whatever this lady is, if she's his mom, was the same thing. But anyway, I guess that's enough talking about if this lady is Fushiguro's mom, since I'm not going to get an answer on if that's the case. Okay, what else? What other cool things happened?
Like Hanami, like her, I guess, development of her own language was kind of nuts.
Yes.
And it was like, if like when she was first talking, everything was written backwards in captions, so like we could read it and understand it before they could, kind of.
What? You just said something I didn't know.
The language of the gods.
I like that it can be like telepathically like transported to their brains.
Yeah. That sword.
Hanami also calls
Where's
them
he been hiding it?
children.
Yeah.
I like Hanami. I'm like, Hanami, why can't you just try to like teach humans how to respect the planet instead of try to? Well, but she might have tried before.
Well, I
She's
mean,
probably
she's a
been alive
curse,
for
no?
a really long time. Yeah, but she doesn't seem like to have this like evil intent.
I mean,
I don't think Jogo and them are operating under wanting to protect the planet.
she has an evil mission, that's for fucking sure.
Yeah, but she thinks that the Earth is innocent and it is being. It's almost like she's protecting something she deems as innocent and it isn't being taken care of. It's being abused, and so I'm like, I feel like the other curses are just kind of like, we want all our curses to be here. Let's like humans suck.
She's one of like the nature curses, like, you know, like same with Jogo. I mean, he was in his own right.
Yeah, but he seemed to be less like wanting to do this for nature's sake and more just for the sake of curses.
Yeah. Do you
But
see
then
how
again,
it's stop it, foolish children backwards?
Oh, you're right. I didn't even notice that. I just read pots.
What'd you think of seeing Togei's ability?
Okay, love Toge.
Yeah, it was awesome. I like what they do, like audio-wise.
It's like better, obviously, probably if you have headphones on.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that sort of when I feel like I might start watching shows in general, like anime specifically with headphones because they do so many like audio things. Like we just watched Death Note the other night, and they did so many crazy scenes in the rain.
Yeah.
And so we were hearing this distortion, this removal of audio because of like the rain drowning it out. And like there was a lot of really cool things that happened with audio in that episode. And I don't think I would have gotten the same effect like with Togei's voice if I didn't have headphones on.
I prefer watching anything with headphones on because I imagine the editor of whoever's making this
they made it with headphones on.
Exactly.
You're
and
so
like,
right.
But like it's just so much more of an immersive experience, you know. You're I guess like muting everything else in the world and
Definitely
focusing
makes you
on
pay
what
attention.
focusing
you're
on like
right.
what the person who made the project is intending to be heard and watched. I love the art for the water of the elephant. Super cool.
I'm so
he's
happy
tamed
we
it
got to meet
recently.
the elephant. Tamed recently? Like, that means that, like... Okay, wait. There was 10 shadows, right? 10 shadows was whatever the technique was called, or the hereditary technique. Does that mean there's 10 Shikigami that he can tame and or make contracts with?
Maybe?
That's just what I would think by that. But there might be an unlimited amount, and you just might need to tame them.
Yeah.
But there also might just be 10. We have both of the wolves, but I feel like obviously the white wolf is dead, right? Because we haven't seen the white wolf since. That's sad. So that would be probably 1 as both of them. Maybe 1 and 2. And then Nue, the frog. Frogs, sometimes there's like plural. And then the elephant. So that's 5. So that means we could potentially, if 10 is the number, be seeing 5 more get tamed.
I love his eyes.
Yeah.
Like when Fushiguro like snaps. But he like Fushiguro, like one thing that I'll say, just because like we've been given the context of it throughout the episode that we haven't brought up. Kamo said like that sword, where did it come from? In regards to Fushiguro having a random black sword here.
I didn't notice Kamo say anything, but I did notice the random black sword.
He before just because this is going to be hard to find, we'll just have to curse each other. I love that whole moment from Fushiguro. But he had the black sword, and
okay, phone was slapped away. They all jumped back. Blood. Do we see him get the sword? I don't think so. Hanami. Okay, and then he swings the sword.
And then,
but it came out of nowhere. It's really tough. Okay, is this where Kamo said that sword?
Kamo. Where's he been hiding it?
It's a pretty big sword. It's not like he just like pulled it out of his...
I'm not gonna say anything about it. Because we know, but I don't want to say anything.
Well, we
about
know
it
that he learned how to do something that was rare and like reach into like space basically and be able to like have weapons there. So we know that he has this rare ability to do that, and it's especially impressive for a Shikigami user to have close range combat skills. I think Kamo even said that.
Yeah. Fushiguro is so fucking badass, bro. And also, Kamo's surprised that Fushiguro can seemingly understand Toge.
I feel like understanding Toge probably just comes from time with Toge.
Tuna with mayo.
Toge is probably the cutest character in the show.
Toge is so cool.
Inumaki, is that the other name they were calling Toge?
I think so.
I love how the transition of like, oh, we're fighting, we're about to curse each other. Oh shit, we have to be on the same team now.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, they are on the same team.
Yeah, and I love seeing that because I was getting slightly worried, I guess, that like maybe the Kyoto sister school and our school have a little bit too much beef at the moment with like the Ichidori situation that maybe they wouldn't be able to like coexist and get along and work together. But obviously this shows that they're not fighting to kill each other, except Itadori. They're fighting to basically prove themselves, but like without intent to kill. And now they've seen, oh shoot, that should not be there. Those giant like tree roots should not be here.
Do you remember early on when Itadori first got his uniform and we learned that Gojo like made like you have the option to make like changes to it or requests and Gojo did it for him. I love that like all of them are wearing like the same basic uniform, but all of them are like slightly different to match their own character, you know?
Fushiguro just has like slightly shorter pants. That's his, like, I like that Toge's is able to, like, cover his mouth. Yeah. Like, that's a really cool effect to see him, like, zipper down.
Mm-hmm. It's cool when he was, like, holding it, like, at the ready. Like,
yeah. I also love the addition of a different type of weapon being used. We had bow and arrow.
And them being able to be controlled because of blood manipulation.
Because he put a little blood on them. And that's how he supposedly marked Itadori for this curse that the around S, was it around S?
It was like
one
upper first, I think.
It was like around.
No, sorry,
it was
what is it called?
Really strong.
It's not. I don't think it was it wasn't second grade, it was first grade, but yeah.
Yeah. And he like placed like almost like a scent onto so freaking creepy. I do not like looking at that.
But yes, it like to be in conjunction with the flute, it would have attacked either way. I don't know how it would have gone.
We're not unified. That's what Gramps said.
Yeah.
Well, no dip.
I didn't think a second grade would be enough. Yeah. But that we don't have to worry about that thing anymore. The semi first grade. There you go.
Okay. I knew it was like not exactly.
I didn't know the
something.
term.
Yeah.
But the semi first grade we don't have to worry about anymore. It got easily killed. A semi first grade got seemingly easily killed by Hanami.
Yeah.
What does that mean for us? The only person we've seen
really freaking strong.
take down a special grade is Gojo.
Yep, he didn't even kill it.
Yeah.
He just was like, "Oh, I'll send you home with your head. Bye-bye." I don't... Okay, so Utahime's in there, Gramps is in there. Gojo can't get in, but maybe he'll be able to break it? I don't know.
Principal went to go see Tengen.
Yeah, for the veil.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the protection barrier. There was a barrier that was supposed to keep out other outsiders. Does Sukuna come out? I don't think so. I don't know. But like Todo's gonna be like, oh, Todo. I want to see Todo fight Hanami because Todo basically just uses brute strength and not like a weapon. So I'm wondering if that could help.
Good question.
Talk about the uselessness of putting Miwa to sleep. She didn't even have her sword. She was like, oh, I'm just gonna stand here and sing because I can't do anything without my sword. Oh, puts her to sleep. She can't even do anything. What was the point?
I mean, it like eliminated her from the competition.
Okay, yes, but she also wasn't much competition at that point.
Yeah, that was so funny though.
It was funny to me. It was comedic to me to put her to sleep because of the fact that she wasn't really even like.
Miwa is so relatable.
She really is.
I get worried. Like I hope that I want to see her develop as a character because like I'm not much of an asset without my sword, so that was the right call. Like we've seen Fushiguro develop. Like at first he only had his Shinigami, right?
Yeah.
And then he started training in hand to hand. Mm-hmm. I hope that we eventually see Miwa have like training or like improve in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, I just like her so much as a character. I find her incredibly relatable to what I feel like I would probably be like if I was in this universe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some big fights I think we're going to see coming up. I was really just thinking the biggest fight we'd see would be Kamo and Fushiguro, but boy was I wrong.
Yeah.
That the curses, the legion of really bad curses would come in. I was not expecting that. I just thought this whole episode would be like a really big action-packed Fushiguro moment.
Yeah.
Which I was hyped for. I was like so into. Like that man has amazing eyelashes. He's beautiful.
He's such a good character, dude. I get so hyped up when he was like, well, I guess we'll curse each other.
I know.
The music went, like everything. I was like, oh my god, yes. Fushiguro is the man, dude. I want to see him succeed in every aspect of his life.
Me too.
All right, you good?
Yeah, but I also I like Kamo too.
Me too. I like a lot of characters in the show.
Students.
Obviously,
like
yeah.
They're young. Like I can't like blame them too much for anything because there's some of them are still fighting against pressure that's being put on them by not only society but like family ties, pressure to make something out of themselves. They all have these like outside pressure or motivators that are kind of blinding them from being like what exactly they want to be deep down personally.
I could see a lot of characters in the show being a protagonist.
Yeah, like I feel like Fushiguro is the only one that doesn't fit what I just said because he's already decided he's living by his own principles,
which is badass.
And that is really badass. Like that's why he's different than Kamo, is that he's decided what he believes and he doesn't care if it doesn't fit someone else's narrative or hopes for him.
Yeah.
It's the mission he's on. he, at the end of the day, can be proud of himself and can love himself, just like Nobara, because they did something that was true to themselves. That's why Nobara and Fushiguro get along.
Kamo,
there we go.
Yeah, Kamo versus Fushiguro is like Neji versus like pre-tuning exam Neji versus post-tuning exam Neji. Like after
Yes.
like Naruto kicks his ass. Like I don't know. It's
Neji's a good character.
Yeah, but I like so many characters in this show.
Let's transport Neji into this world.
They already did. It's Kamo. But I cannot wait for next episode, and that's all I have. You?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.